letting them all in now.
Mm-hmm.
And the number of participants is going up quickly.
Wonderful.
People are still joining. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, folks.
I hope you can all hear me well and hear Billy as well. And that we don't have too many dogs barking in the background.
Yeah, no dogs barking in the background, please. Make sure you mute your microphones.
That's right. And we hope we'll have an interesting show today. The first time on a Thursday. So, right. Oh, and I still have to pass the host on to Billy.
Mm-hmm.
So you should be now the host, Billy.
Yes, I see that now.
Okay, so it's up to you to keep everybody under control.
Yep, I got it.
Right. Okay, and we're still waiting a little bit for people to join it. It always takes a few minutes before everybody's here.
Exactly.
And first of all, welcome. And well, let's let his music run out. It's always nice to see all these faces. It's
oh yeah, most definitely.
And Nick in Australia's got a big crowd behind him.
Yeah, we need to get an update from Nick. He's getting flooded again down there.
Right, yeah. Well, it looks like he's quite high up at the moment, and the big crowd behind him.
Nice background there, Nick.
That's right, yes. Oh, it just reminded me, I've still got one little job to do here, which has to do with recording this thing. I think you guys want me to record this.
Yep, let's go ahead and start the recording.
The recording is I record it twice, so it is being recorded already.
Okay.
But I have to record the screen as well, so we can switch to the overview of everybody.
Okay.
Because you may notice in the recordings that sometimes you see a group of people, and sometimes you see a close-up of the people. And that is only
Oh, losing your microphone there for some reason.
All right, it should be. I haven't changed my microphone.
Okay.
That's only possible because I record each program twice, and the other recording just started. Just started now. 1 second. Yep. Okay. There's always a lot of things to coordinate here and to get things ready. How are the numbers doing? We're up to about 100.
We're up 192.
192. I'm getting the same number here. So let me just remove that. Okay. So I think we'll just chat a little bit, and at 10 past by then, if people are not here, then they've missed the beginning.
Right.
So obviously we're not going to waste those 5 minutes.
Lots of things going on. Go ahead, Peter. Get into it.
Let's get on to things. First of all, some people have been asking me and what happened with the after party, and so I think I did put out a message. Let me see if I can pull that up. I've got it up somewhere on my computer. I've hidden it. Right, here we go. So basically, we were helping out the after party for quite a few weeks, and then we had this scammer hit those two people. The two people. I think it's actually more than two people who actually lost money to scammers, and then they just all went crazy and started blaming the after show, not us personally, because it's obvious that Billy and I were not behind the scamming. We've done everything we can to make it better and stop to stop it. But the problem is, I did a deep analysis of the Telegram system because I was wondering, how are people joining the private group on the GESARA QFS chat group? How are people joining that when the only access I was allowing was through the comments button? Because if you go to the channel and click on the comments button, then you can see and reply to chats, but you cannot see the members list. And I was thinking, but I was seeing, well, in fact, I can check right now because we still haven't removed them. We have 82 people, no, sorry, correction, 72 people in the chat group. Well, obviously one of them is me, and probably Billy's another one, but so I was wondering, how are those people getting in? Because we'd never published the link, the private link to get there, and it had set it up so you could only get in there through the channel. So I thought there must be a loophole here somewhere, and so I looked for it, and I finally found the loophole. And I'm not going to tell you where it is because that's actually the security issue. But basically, and I've reported this to Telegram as well, to their support. I haven't received a reply though. That through this little loophole where you can get into a private group, which is linked to a channel without clicking on the comments button, that is how the scammers are getting in, seeing the members list, and then clicking on individual members, clicking send message and sending private messages pretending to be us. I actually caught one. You know, while I was looking at the channel, I actually saw a message saying, GESARA QFS has just joined your group. I said, well, that's me, and that's certainly, you know, that's my channel, but that's not me. So I immediately clicked on it and sent him a message and said, who are you? And the guy immediately sort of disappeared. But of course, the link is still there. And if you click on it now, it's it tells you he's changed the name he's changed it to. Which no, I don't know. That's just the next guy he's scamming. But you know, so I caught one. But anyway, I discovered the problem. The problem is we cannot. It is technically impossible to prevent these scammers doing this, getting into the group and individually talking. So either Telegram fixes this problem, removes the loophole, or alternatively, and this is the way we're going, is that you move to you'll move to the forum and carry on discussions at the forum, and which I think is the much better method, because the forum is a much richer environment than Telegram is. Telegram, it's a little bit like Yahoo Groups once was. It's one long list of unsorted messages, and it's all about the message of the day. And if you want to look up older messages, it gets rather difficult. Okay, there is a search function, but it's not very well sorted. Whereas on a forum, you can put messages into the various different sections. So you have a section on NESARA, you have a section on QFS, you have a section on med beds, and that just is a much more organized and better way to exchange messaging. And so, you know, we're going to leave both running for the time being because we haven't got enough members who've moved over to the forum yet. But my appeal to all of you is move your messaging over to the forum. We are now posting the latest intel on the forum, not so much on the Telegram group. Occasionally we're posting things on the Telegram group, but we want to encourage people to go to the forum, get the intel there, and start communicating with each other there, because that is safe from these scammers, and it helps us all. But now, obviously, all you guys are already on the forum because that's how you got the link. So I'm preaching to the converted here. I know this. So I will be putting out a series of messages on the Telegram group, as I have already been doing, encouraging people to join the forum. And I would like to thank all of you for having already done that. I've been working really hard and fine-tuning it and trying to get it all working. And but all the same, before every webinar, just when I'm just going over the Intel, just so I make sure I'm up to date, I get flooded with emails saying I haven't received the link, and I've just sent it out twice. Did all of you get the? Let me rephrase this. Did anyone not get the email?
Post a comment in chat if you did.
Yes, I can see
no,
2 or 3.
Yes, no, yes, no.
Did you check your spam folders? Because I sent it out twice this time. So there's something happening where the email's not arriving, because I sent them out twice.
All right.
But of course,
now there were a few people who mentioned to me that they just got it about 2 minutes before we started.
Right.
Okay. So it has, I think there's some email servers that are probably overloaded or something along those lines. Internet issues, it can affect it. But we did send it out twice, and hopefully everybody got those. But if not, we'll try to do better. But maybe we'll start posting it 2 hours before, so make sure everybody gets it.
Yeah, because I did send it over an hour before the time. And of course, if you're on the forum, you can get the link anytime, because it's in the webinars section. Go to webinars, live webinars, go in there and you'll find the link. It's there days, been there for days.
Right. If you'd like, I can show them exactly on the forum right now. Let me share my screen here real quick. Okay. I'll show you exactly where to go. Okay. So give me just a moment. All right. So if you go to the board index, all right, here, and you scroll down, you'll see the live webinars. Okay. All right. Each week we will post the next webinar. These are announcements here. All right. And then the link to the webinar is here. You click on that, and there it is. And you'll see the Zoom webinar right there, and the times are listed above for your individual time zones. Okay. But that's the simplest way to get it.
That's right. And it's available at any time. You're not dependent on receiving an email to get to that. You just go to the forum and go to that place, and then you can just click on it. It'll work.
Again, board index, scroll down through the categories, webinars, live webinars, right here. Okay?
That's right.
Everybody got it? Okay. So give me just a moment here.
And below it, recorded webinars is where you find the recording.
Yeah, exactly.
Normally, well, I think almost always, unless something seriously goes wrong here, within 24 hours of the program ending. Now, for a long time now, I've been I was preparing the videos not just for the after show or for this GESARA show, but also for the official Insider Club videos. It was me editing and releasing those videos for the last several weeks. In fact, since we've been doing the GESARA show, the NESARA, start again. Since we started the after show, I was the one who always released the Insider Club videos. That means the one with Charlie and David and the after show. And in fact, the last week I released 3 videos, because the after show, the Insider Club, and of course our GESARA show. So it was me all doing that. So, but that's ended now. I'm only working on our current show. It's been rather bizarre, I think, how they've been slowly kicking out Billy and I from there. It's not like we did anything wrong or did anything bad. Now, they did say it's not necessarily because of the scammer, but it's because we were taking people away from their Insider Club into other groups. Well, my answer
Like
to
our
that,
Telegram channels and the
and
signal
the signal group.
and the signal group.
Now
And
the
that
signal.
this was way before we started the web, the
Yeah,
website.
that's right. Yeah, the signal group is actually quite old, and Tara called me and said, "What's this signal group?" And I explained what it was, and she said, "Well, just make sure that people know that it's not a Charlie insider place. It's a NESARA." And I said, "Yeah, that's no problem." In fact, I don't actually go to the signal group very often because for me it's a backup group, but I am aware that a lot of people are there exchanging messages and in an open chat, which is fine. Let them talk amongst themselves. I'm not very active there. I occasionally have a look to see what's happening, but I have so much else to do. Preparing for this show, watching the Intel. In particularly the last 2 weeks, I've been working like mad, getting the forum to be working perfectly. And is everyone happy with the forum at the moment? Write in the chat if you got anything which is not working, or
Okay,
it's good.
great. I'm seeing a lot of positive responses here.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Okay.
I am on Signal too. Okay, not just Peter's group, but I keep it open for communications. If I have an emergency communication, it's not an official chat. It's not something that you can just contact me on willy nilly. But if an emergency situation comes up where the 800 numbers are released, let's say, all right,
That will release everywhere.
then I'll be posting that on Signal everywhere. Okay, I
Yeah.
also have as a backup my Coke bottles and my carrier pigeons, so I will get the word out somehow. Like I
That's
said.
right. We will obviously as soon as those numbers are released, and that could happen very soon now. We're going to make sure that you guys know about it, because obviously we all know this is what we're all waiting for, and we're keeping an eye on this. And let me just check how many. We're up to 227. I got another email here, link for show. I should not have to turn off my protection VPN in order to watch a show that I've paid for. They don't. You only need to switch off the VPN just to register for the forum, not to watch the show.
Right.
Okay. I don't know if I should reply to. I'll just say not needed, and they should understand that. If not, they're gonna if these people. Because a lot of people use VPNs because they think that gives them more security. Well, it does to a certain extent, because it means that the website you're visiting cannot detect your location, or actually gets a false location to where you are. The disadvantage is that you nearly always have a toxic IP. That means that when you register for a system like a forum, like our forum, which uses Stop Forum Spam to weed out spammers, it's a very good system, Stop Forum Spam. I've been using it for years. Of course, if you have a toxic IP, you immediately get a message saying you're a spammer, because they're using an IP which a spammer has used in the past. At just about every single time where people have said, "Oh, I'm not a spammer," I say, "Switch off your VPN," and they do that, and they're in easily. We haven't had one case I'm aware of where the people were actually individually blocked. It was always their bad IP. IP, for those who do not know what it is, it's when you connect to the internet, there you have an individual number which connects you to it. It's like an address book, a computer address book, and that connects you to the internet. And sometimes there are shared IPs. For example, if you're at home and you're a network, you have one internet connection, everybody at your house will have that same IP. Sometimes that could be an institution with the same, but all the same, the IP address is linked to where you live, not to the street address, but certainly to the town. So you can, from the IP address, you can normally determine which town people live in. And in cases where fraud happens, it's possible to use the IP address, or for the police to use the IP address, to detect who was online with that IP at that time. That's the whole point of IP addresses. And we use it for the registration. It's not checked beyond when people register, because we feel we don't want people with a bad reputation joining the forum. So it keeps the spammers out, those who actually want to spam us, because they nearly all have bad IPs, because it's a two-way system. If people were to start spamming my forum, I could report them to stop forum spam, and then I would not only kick them out of my forum, but they would have difficulty getting to other people's forums as well. That's how that system works. And
okay.
So anyway, enough of that. I think you've all seen now that you can just get the link from the forum. You don't need the emails, but we're sending out the emails anyway, because we realize that people want the emails. And now I think I should get on to some intel, to what is actually happening in this crazy world. And I'm sure you saw was it yesterday's event with Charlie, where he talked about the token, the one-to-one exchange between China, Russia, India, the BRICS countries, basically. For those who don't know what BRICS means, BRICS is an organization which was set up about, 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember the exact date. It's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Those are the original founding members of the BRICS consortium. And now a lot of other countries have joined in the meantime, and they are starting the NESARA GESARA. In fact, as far as I know, well, it will be GESARA there, because they're not USA. So they are basically either already started the quantum financial system, or are in the process of starting it. We're now at the point that there's like 3 billion people in this world already on the gold-backed currency, which is going to cause the deep state it's causing the deep state to fall into panic, because they're realizing that this is the end of them, because when the gold-backed currency is there, that takes away their fiat-backed currency and their power, because their entire power was based around controlling the money, the fiat currency. But when the fiat currency is no longer valid, they have nothing. And that's so. Expect the next days to be pretty wild. There could be false flag events. There could be all kinds of lockdowns or craziness of some kind happening. Because they don't want to go without a fight, unfortunately. But it's the way things are, and we're winning this. Now, I'm hearing that the USA is pegged for the 1st of April for the release of the new currency. Now, as with all dates, they're tentative. There are always things which change, but it makes sense. It's the beginning of a new quarter. I'm seeing multiple channels, multiple sources pegging the USA at the 1st of April. But we've said dates before, and it didn't quite happen that way. So we'll just have to wait. I don't think it'll happen before then, put it this way. But it could happen at any time from then.
All right. Repeat the token thing again, or do you want me to go into that?
Yeah, I can do that. Okay. Now, we've all been wondering what currency the new quantum financial system will be pegged to. We were wondering, will it be pegged to the dollar? Will it be pegged to the yuan? Will it be pegged to the ruble or the rupee in India? And in fact, this is what Charlie Ward reported. So I'm just basing it on what he said. It's just a token. They just call it a token. It's not pegged to any currency. And they are exchanging this token one-to-one to the countries. So it's like they've started a new currency called the token. And so the question we all want to know is, what's the exchange rate between our countries and the token? And right. I haven't been able to find that information yet, but we're looking. And but they're already using it. They're already selling Russian oil, Chinese goods. They're already trading. Those countries are already trading amongst themselves, at least on a national level, in this new currency. So it's begun, basically. We said some time ago, 15th of March was the beginning of the QFS, and I did say it was the beginning of the process, not the end. And that was the beginning of a process which did lead up to Russia being the first to kick off the thing. That was also, they were pushed into it as well by the fact that they were kicked out of SWIFT, which only accelerated it. And so we can all look forward to a golden future. Now, I suspect most of you are in countries which have not yet got there. I mean, I'm in Germany, will probably be one of the last countries because Germany is very much full of deep state actors. You only have to switch the TV on and you can tell that the TV news here is very much just the narrative, and whenever they talk about anybody else's opinions, it's always they're labeled far-right extremists. And I'm surprised that people buy it, to be honest.
There's so much BS out there, and if you go from channel to channel, even here in the United States, it's the same talking points over and over and over and over again, almost verbatim from channel to channel.
Yeah, and if you see 30 TV channels and they're almost word perfect on the same, you can see that they're reading from a script. Mm-hmm. They haven't been doing research, they haven't been doing journalism. They're just told what to say and then they say it. Well, that's not what I call news.
No, that's just ripping and reading, and that's not doing investigative journalism at all.
That's right. And what we used to call investigative journalists are, in their eyes, conspiracy theorists.
Right, exactly.
Us. We are the conspiracy. And then I kind of point out, well, the mainstream media said that and that didn't happen. And, so I say, no, we do facts. We leave the conspiracy theorists to the professionals who run the TV channels. Because that's where you get the conspiracies these days. But okay, let me just have a quick glance through what I have.
Somebody said my mic was a little bit low. Is that better?
No, it sounds fine to me.
Okay.
I can hear you well. It's always this typical deep American voice. It's a bit like Rush Limbaugh, isn't it?
Okay. Oh no, don't get me into that. Okay. With talent on loan from God,
That's right. Whereas I have this British accent, and which I've been told Americans love the British accent. I don't know if that's true, but certainly with Charlie's British, David is Irish, doesn't quite count, and I'm British, so
and
whatever.
I'm just a backwoods Southern boy, y'all.
Well, one thing which I found interesting, Tara, who organizes the Insider Club, she lives in the same town I grew up in.
Oh, really?
Brentwood in Essex.
Well, one of her good friends is Whiplash 347 on Telegram.
Right.
Yeah. She's good friends with him, so. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But I was very surprised, because she asked me where I came from in the UK. When I said I grew up, well, I spent my first 11 years in Brentwood. She kind of admitted that she lived there.
Cool.
So,
all right. So what do we got? What do we got going on here?
Well, let me just quickly go through what I've marked on the Intel, and then we can move on to Q&A. Questions, Q&A. Yeah. That's right.
Okay.
So apparently the Vatican is now bankrupt. They've run out of money because all their gold has been taken from them, and their fiat currency is just about to end anyway. And as of the 20th of March, the fiat dollar is officially dead, and it's just got to be phased out, basically. there's a lot of panic in Washington, D.C., Europe, United Nations, NATO, the elites, big pharma, big tech, and the mainstream media, who are still refusing to talk about the changes to the currency and what's really happening. But they can see that the end is coming because half the world is already on the new currency. And so it's only so long until the rest have to move, because the half which has already changed are the halves which have the energy.
That's right.
Yeah, Russia, Saudi Arabia, so a lot of the Gulf states, major suppliers of energy are already on the gold-backed system, which means if they want to buy gas and oil, they're going to need to pay in gold.
And then we shut it all down here. We're not energy independent here in the United States anymore. We buy all our energy from elsewhere.
Funny, I thought you used to be. I seem to remember.
Yes, we were. We were energy independent.
I seem to remember you exporting energy and that kind of stuff. And
yes, we were. We were a net exporter of energy. And now, what happened? It all of a sudden just poof.
So your energy independent is now a pipe dream, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. A pipe dream called the XL pipeline, which is never going to be completed. And we're using trucks and rail cars and everything in order to transport oil and gas and all of that around the country, which costs more, pollutes more, and everything else than a pipeline would. So go figure. I'm not.
Well, it's all right. We have
environmentalists,
Well, we have Nord Stream 2 over here, which is a gas pipeline which they spent years building, and it's now already all connected. And Germany's refusing to authorize it.
Right. Yeah.
And so, whereas Putin says that they're reliable suppliers of energy and they will not cut off Europe, but Europe's cutting themselves off.
Yeah, they're slitting their own throats.
That's right, and the price of gas here is tremendous. I mean, it's like $2,000 a cubic meter or something like that.
Right, and wasn't it? What are they paying over in Russia right now for a gallon of gas? 60 rubles, which amounts to about 50 cents a gallon here in the United States.
Yeah,
60 rubles a gallon over in Russia right now, folks. Yeah, and we're paying what, four and a half, close to it, 4.5 a gallon. Yeah.
Figure. And
sorry, I derailed you there, Peter.
Well, fuel here is not, now I drive a diesel car. They're very popular in Germany, diesel cars.
Yes, they are.
Because I get we have a different system for measuring how far we travel, but we buy fuel in liters. And a liter of diesel used to be about €1.30, €1.40, around that price. We're now at about $2.20, $2.30.
Which is about the same price. A liter is about a half gallon here on the average. So if you take 2 liters, it's about the same price, I think.
Yeah, which is extremely expensive, and this is causing all kinds of problems because supermarkets are not being
4 liters per gallon.
And,
I'm sorry, 4 liters per
gallon.
Yeah,
I was going to say
4 liters per gallon.
So you got to multiply it by 4.
Yeah, exactly. So you're paying almost twice what we are.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot my math.
Yeah, I thought 2. I thought what, 2 liters a gallon? It seemed to be
4. It's 4.
And now this is further complicated by the fact that the imperial gallon, the one we have in the UK, is different from the American gallon. I think the UK's gallon is actually more than the American gallon, if I remember correctly.
Right. All right. Moving on.
Anyway, so what else have I got here marked? MarkZ, one of my favorite sources of information. He's quite up on things. Now he's quite well connected with the redemption centers. And for a long time we've been saying, you can negotiate your rates at the redemption center. And what he's now found out is that the rates will be fixed at the redemption. The contract rates will be higher, than the standard rates, but they will just have a higher rate, which everybody gets at the redemption, at least for the Dong and Dinar. Yeah, I don't know about the Zim is a special case because they will adjust that according to your needs and how much funds you have. Because if they can see from your business plan that you need, say, 20 million, and you only have so many Zims, then they will adjust the rate so you get the 20 million. That's what I'm hearing is gonna happen.
This is all fluid, folks. It's not set in stone yet because we don't really know for sure. So
yes, that's right. But the other thing is, I've heard this discussion about why we need to have these NDAs and why it's important to keep your mouth shut. Well, not only can they take the money away from you if you start blurting it out in public what you got for a program, but besides that, remember that most of the world will have never heard of this redemption thing. It's only us insiders who know this. And if people realize that you've suddenly come into a load of money, then you could be in trouble because you'll have everybody coming around begging for you, or you could have people targeting you for theft, for stuff like that. So it is in your own interest. It is better that if people notice that you suddenly got more money, you just say, "Oh, I won the lottery," or "I inherited something from my uncle," or something like that, or my business was doing particularly well. Whatever you like. But if you say, "Oh, I just bought some Zim notes for a couple of hundred and then got 40 million," then people are going to be rather crazy.
Or you can do what I'm going to do, okay? If you remember correctly, the Beverly Hillbillies came from a location here in southern Missouri, southwest Missouri to be exact, okay? That's where the Beverly Hillbillies home is from. So I'm going to tell the story of Jed Clampett. I found oil on my uncle's property down in southwest Missouri. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Right, but then they'll say, yes, but then you're not allowed to build the pipeline to pump it anywhere.
Right, yeah, well, I was shooting at some food, and up came the ground, come a bubbling crude.
Yeah, I think we're going to leave the crude jokes this time.
Okay.
Okay. So if what MarkZ is correct, and he's normally pretty accurate from what I'm hearing, where it's, we'll go for the contract rates. And there won't be a negotiation as to the actual rate. Maybe you can probably, if there are any charges involved, bank charges, you may be able to negotiate those away. But apparently they're going to be pretty much fixed rates for the Dinar and Dong, not so much for the Zim. So what else have I here? As soon as you get money, if I can give you a good tip, get food.
Yeah.
Get food, supplies, preferably for about a year if you can. Because if you've got a lot of money, get somewhere to store it, and get food which will keep, which is not going to go bad on you, and store about a year's supply worth of food. Because you'll have the money then to do it.
And if you can, get enough for about 1,000 people or so, other than yourselves, and put it into a big storage facility.
Well, that would be something for a humanitarian project.
Take care of your community first, okay? Yeah. Your own neighborhood, all right? And if people are starving or hungry or they're freaked out or whatnot, take care of your own home people first, right around your own neighborhood. If we all do that, that would be a good idea.
Because there is a massive shortage of fertilizers, and also foods available from places like Ukraine and whatever. So, and in America, our friend Bill and Melinda Gates, well, not really friends, they've been buying up farm properties in order to reduce the available farming land.
So this has been part.
Yeah. So that's been part of the deep state plan, was to starve us to death as well. So that's why I say once you get the funds, once you got instead of going out and buying a Ferrari or whatever, get a storage place and put a load of food in there, because that's what's going to keep you alive.
I mean, I'm not going to get my monster truck.
Well, there'll probably be some small change left over. Maybe you can still get your monster, or maybe you can get the monster truck and then fill it up with food and transport it into your storage location.
Yeah.
Now, your cellar is probably, if you've got a cellar, is probably not the best location because that's the first place people will look. So if you can have, say, you know, I mean, I'm thinking of just buying at a small flat somewhere, which nobody would think was worth anything, putting some fridges in there and just stacking that up with food but just in a place where you can't see it from outside.
We have already started. And I've talked to people here in St. Louis. AMVET's Post 1 here in St. Louis. They actually have a storage facility, and I've already talked to them about using that just for this very purpose.
Yes, that's right. So, so this is all of it. So, you know, just when we get the money doesn't mean that the show is over. We still have to survive because you can't eat money. So being able to survive for about a year, because it could be as long as a year, because if this year's crops are vastly underpowered, so to speak, then there's not going to be enough food, and a lot of people will be chasing food, and people are starting to start getting violent when they can't eat and things like that. It could be pretty nasty. I'm just hoping that they release those replicators pretty soon, and that we can start replicating foods. Maybe that will happen. That's supposed to be one of the technologies which are due to come.
Yep.
So that maybe that will be the answer. I don't know.
Well, for me, I just live out an old country song. A country boy can survive. Learned those skills long ago, and they're going to come in handy.
The other major shortage, which has already started, is our computer chips. Because now, you know, for a while I was wondering, well, where are all these computer chips going? Because it's not that difficult to manufacture computer chips, and there were a number of companies doing it. We were doing fine for years and years up to now. Why is there suddenly a shortage of computer chips? And I have heard now I can't say that this is absolutely accurate. This is like a semi-confirmed rumor. So don't hold me to it. It might not be as accurate as other things I say. But the story I heard is that the deep state were planning ahead for the time when 90% of the population is gone. And somebody's phone is ringing, probably Bill is.
Yep.
Okay. And they were planning ahead, and they were taking all the chip supplies for automation. In other words, they're using the chips for building robot systems, which will do the work for the people who are no longer there, so that they are still supplied. And that's why a lot of the computer chips are just not available, because the production is always going to that application. So I haven't received full confirmation of that, but there is a certain plausibility to it. But I've heard that other companies like Ford have actually bought their own chip making company, and so they can produce chips for their own needs. I thought that was a clever move.
But I think that, you know, that whole big thing there may be just a scare tactic too. You know, I don't think that the people in charge, the white hats, would allow something like that to go unnoticed. You know, because it's so relevant to what we have to do with our computer systems and everything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and certainly one of the things I'm going to be buying soon is, if I can get one, is a hybrid vehicle. Mm-hmm. So you can drive on electricity or on petrol, or petroleum, you guys say, or gasoline, you guys say.
That's why I want my monster truck, so it, you know, electric, so it can plug it into my home.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, power my home like that until the Tesla free energy comes along.
Well, that's right, because you have an electric vehicle, Tesla free energy comes along, then, you know, you can drive around for free. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and I think there's going to be a big rush for people buying electric vehicles as well. So if you can get your orders in now, even if it's going to be delivered in 3 months, it's probably wise. I say I've certainly got my eyes on getting a hybrid car as soon as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And
what else we got?
What else have we got? Just going through here. There's a lot of this stuff which has already been covered, so I'm just kind of slipping over because what I do is I print out all the stuff which I think is relevant, and I mark it, and so I just know from those what to talk about. And I seem to have run out of markings right now.
Okay, all right, yeah, I got this. Yeah, hold on.
That was Alex, wasn't it? Right, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how this happens, but they must have accidentally clicked on their microphone button or something.
It happens.
But at least we're in control of well, if it's me who sets up the Zoom links, and so I make sure that everybody is automatically muted when they join, because we had it before on the after party that it took 10 minutes before everybody was quiet. Okay, well, let me stop there on the Intel, because I think that's the most vital happening. We're expecting it could go to redemption anytime. I'm hearing that it's going to be between now and April the 4th that we could be offered appointments. So we're talking of a week or so. So keep your eyes on the channels and keep yourselves, because it could happen at any time now. Because April the 4th is when it's supposed to be, if they keep to plan, that is, and there's no guarantee of that. April 4th is when it's supposed to be announced to the public. And they wanted to actually get us out of the way before then. So it could be very imminent that we get the opportunity to make our appointments.
One question that has been brought up, Peter, is security going to and from our appointments.
Right.
Okay. I think that most of the appointments will be held at a very secure facility, most likely a military base.
That's what I'm hearing. But also, there are some banks, like in the USA, I think some Wells Fargo branches were. But, it's not unusual to walk into a bank.
Right. So it just be wary, okay? I mean, I'm going to have my own crew of people follow me up. The Jefferson County rednecks.
Your own lynch mob you're going to take with you.
Exactly.
Right. So you're going to tell your friends, hey, I'm just out to go and get 40 million. Just follow me so you can lynch me as soon as I get it.
Exactly. All right, so you ready?
I think so, yeah. Well, from what I'm hearing, we get a plastic card. So nothing which would be very
no cash.
Visible.
No cash.
No cash.
All right, but anyway... Hello, Nick. Nick in Australia. He is underwater again. They are having massive flooding there in Sydney. Tell us what's going on, Nick.
Well, hi, guys. Hi, Billy. Hi, Peter. It was meant to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So we're still waiting for the big rain. It is raining, but it's not bad. I've actually prepared with a lot of sandbags out the front of my house because I get bad flooding here. It all comes down off the street, down my driveway. So I'm ready for it. But it's a bit of a non-event so far. We're meant to be going to Canberra tomorrow for another big event like behind me here. This was us, 2.4 million people.
Right.
Can't see all of us in this photo, but we're meant to be going tomorrow. But if it does rain hard, well, that'd be convenient to stop us, wouldn't it? So we don't know. The funny time here in Australia, there's a lot of people who are very awake to a certain level, but I'm quite well aware now from going to several meetings locally here in the Blue Mountains in New South Wales that a lot of my truther friends don't know anything about the RV.
Right.
And I'm thinking, oh my God, I feel very suddenly responsible for people because, like you've said, I'm actually working in a situation where it's a meeting place for all of the community groups for truthers, and there's a core of, I don't know, maybe 60 people that are very practical, all into food growing and finding solutions if the worst case scenario happens. But I feel a bit sad for them because they're not very open to hearing about this easy way to, invest in getting the RV money.
Yeah.
And I've told them about the Zims. I've said, just grab some Zims. And they just look at me like I'm crazy. It just feels like it's a bit late for them because they haven't researched and they don't believe me. They look at me like I'm strange. And now I feel like a bit of a target, like you said. So I've got to be careful who I tell. So, but I have got a very clear idea now of what I would like to do with my humanitarian money. It's becoming clearer only because of the lack of knowledge in the rest of the truther community. So it just seems like Australian truthers are very all about reacting to our rain bomb and all about, all the flooding in Australia. A lot of other, things that have happened in our country, they're all reacting to it. They're all being very helpful and practical. It's wonderful, but they're not really knowledgeable about the RV.
Right. So, I think maybe that weather modification thing may be just the thing to help wake more people up as the government tries to prevent you guys from actually helping other people without getting nose swabbed or jabbed.
The question is,
that is going on.
The question is, who is controlling it? Is it the white hats controlling it, or still the dark hats controlling the weather modification in Australia?
Well, that's right. We've heard both sides. I mean, some people have reported that they believe that in northern New South Wales, which is around Byron Bay, which most people have heard of Byron Bay, that's allegedly a place where a lot of the Australian elites have got dams. And that was really, really flooded. We've all heard of Lismore. Lismore's been basically destroyed forever. That was underwater. But as you've probably heard, the government didn't turn up to help them. There was no SES workers. There was no police for 2 weeks. Right. So, I haven't really heard a lot of updates from there, but I do know that they're a displaced area. They don't have a place to live. So it's an emergency. Right. And so there's going to be a big humanitarian need for that area.
Right. Well, we also heard that Charles Flynn, General Flynn's brother, commander of the Pacific Theater, is down there with his brigade and cleaning stuff up down there right now as well. So, this may be all part of it, just to clean out, the remnants of all the negative stuff that's down there, all the evil stuff that's down there. So
that's right.
All right.
There's a lot of sleepy people in Australia, though. They're just walking around like it's all gone back to normal, but obviously it hasn't. Still people wearing masks. Quite a lot of people here wearing masks. Okay. But at least I feel very grateful. I mean, I feel like I'm in the hub of my area to actually be useful in the future. But like I say, I already feel like there's a lack of knowledge there. So I'm trying to wake them up to the RV, but it's a bit late.
All right. Well, good luck to you. And thank you, Nick, for that update from down in Australia. We're praying for you, buddy.
Yeah, okay. I say, whenever I hear Blue Mountains, I remember the time I visited the Blue Mountains. I particularly remember you had this kind of cable car which went sort of diagonally down the mountain. I remember going on, the Katuba, that's the one, yeah.
That's it, yeah. And tourism's taken a dive because there's no international people coming here at all. Right. So you can imagine because we are the tourism area, we've really suffered a lot of businesses.
All right.
It's a crazy time, but we're still alive.
All right, Nick. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us here today. All right, Don Bishop, you're up next. Just done. There you go.
I was ready for you. I have two questions. The first question deals with unemployment in the glorious state here. I got unemployment. I was awarded it and so on and so on. But anyways, after a year, they said, "Oh, guess what? You're not eligible. You got to pay it all back."
What?
Does that go? Yeah. And I have a protest that I put in all the documentation and everything last May, and I'm still in progress.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Does that go away with NESARA?
Well, yeah, it does. How old are you, Don?
70.
all right, you'll get the automatic stipend of $5,000 a month. I don't think you're going to have anything to worry about it.
With the unemployment with NESARA, that goes away too?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but there's going to be plenty to do because there's all these humanitarian projects which we guys will be doing. I mean, look at it this way. Look at the people here in the group. We're all entrepreneurs. We're all going to be getting enough money to build massive companies, if you like. We're the ones going to be employing our people. We're going to be the ones helping others to survive this. So we actually have quite a responsibility. So the fact that we know about this means that we're in a privileged position to help people survive. So we have to be pretty clever about this, and also very honored that we are going to be the good guys of the future.
Right. And like I said, when we're talking about anybody over the age of 60, okay, and you say you're 70 at this point, is automatically going to get $5,000 a month. All right. But you have to think about this. That may not seem like much, but yeah, it will be, because everything reverts back to 1955 prices. Okay. So instead of paying $2.50 for a gallon of milk, you'll probably be only paying about 20 cents.
Right.
If that makes sense. Okay. So there's going to be plenty of money to go around in the people who have put in their time and whatnot and worked feverishly over the years. You'll get yours with no problem. Okay.
I'm not really concerned about that. The unemployment thing, like I said, I protested it last May. Yeah. And then they came back and said, well, we want you to make monthly payments on it, or we're going to garnish your wages and take away your income tax returns and all that stuff. So
that's all going to go bye-bye.
And my second question is real quick. I don't want to take too long, take away from other folks. National health care. Is that anything in the works that you're aware of?
Well, MedBeds and the 6,000 cures that'll be instantly available. Okay.
I think, Billy, you're mixed up there. It's not 6,000 cures, it's 6,000 technologies, 6,000 patents to be precise, which will be made available. Yeah. 6,000 cures is not what's being it's not just going to be medical things. Those 6,000 things are going to be energy, transport, space travel, whatever. So it's 6,000 technologies.
Yeah, you have to rethink again what we're coming into. All right, everybody's stuck in that 3D reality that we're living right now. Okay, and rethink that healthcare in the future is going to be so much different. Okay, it's not going to be like it is today. You're not going to have to jump through the hoops. I mean, healthcare back before 1985, 1986 was actually pretty simple. And then all of a sudden, it started becoming this big conglomerate thing where the insurance companies got involved and more government agencies got involved in it and things of that nature. And then it just ballooned up, and it was a money-making scheme. That's all it was for both the insurance companies, the pharmaceutical companies, and the medical industry as a whole.
Now, I've been involved in alternative health for a long time. One of the biggest forums I run is related to resonance therapy, RIFE, Royal RIFE, if anybody knows what that is. Maybe some of you are a member of the rifeforum.com, which I run, which I've been running since 2002. It's a long-term project. So I'm very well connected with people in the alternative health world as to what is that, and natural health. That was the health we all had. What the new health systems were brought in by the Rothschilds, who basically did everything they could to get rid of natural health with all their complicated certification procedures and things like that. And so natural health is what we're going back to, but with the med beds, that is going to be a tremendous thing to get rid of all these little ailments.
All right. Okay. But thank you, Don.
Thank you. You guys do a great job. Keep doing what you're doing.
We're doing our best.
All right. Patty, go ahead and unmute.
Hello. I'm showing my face this time. It's not
Nice
bursting
to
in
see
the
you,
Good to
brain.
see you, dear. Good to see you. Where are you from?
Gillette, Wyoming.
Oh, yeah, been to Gillette. Yes.
Yes, I moved here by accident. God knows what he's doing. Almost 8 years ago from Eastern Washington State. And boy, in the last 2 years, I have been so thankful that I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
So-
imagine.
Yeah. Anyway,
I hear
have two
western
questions.
part of Washington State wants to join Idaho at this point. Is that right?
No, eastern part. And they have for my entire life. That's been
Oh,
a
the eastern
desire.
part. Yeah, the eastern part of
Right.
Washington. Yeah, the eastern part of
Yeah,
Washington.
there's
wants to
something
actually
in the
join
water
Idaho.
in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something in the Kool-Aid water on the western side for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, two questions. One I've asked is I keep hearing that the bondholders are being paid first, and I'm wondering who and what are bondholders?
As far as I know, they're sort of major investors for major projects. They could be charities, they could be investors. I don't know any personally, but they are people which are higher up in the hierarchy of the financial system, and I can't really explain it more than that. They are people who are in this game before, a long time before we were.
Mm-hmm.
And invested with much more money.
Right. The bondholders, they're probably the ones that are setting up the mega stuff. Okay. We need to concentrate on our own little projects at home. The mega stuff that needs to be taken care of, such as the big med centers and things of that nature, will probably be handled by those big bondholders, I would imagine.
And of course, the Secret Service. They have a James Bond.
Exactly.
Love it. Well, thank you
Well,
on
at
that.
least MI6 does.
That.
We don't have James Bond here. Here in the United States.
Yeah. Well,
we have Felix Leiter. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yes, and because I've been hearing that on MarkZ, where he keeps saying they're being paid out, and he's lost track of about half of them because he thinks they've been paid out. So thank you. That is a question I've had. Second question, and I don't know if I even should ask this, but I actually had my husband buy another Zim or a couple more Zims because I just kept thinking of all these people in my life, my siblings, all the people who are asleep, who are not having an opportunity for this. And I want to be able to help them, and pastors, people that I just love, good people in the world. And so we did buy more Zims so we could help them a lot. But then I got to thinking, would they be considered a humanitarian project?
Well, what you need to have a project when you go there. So,
and I do have a couple, so yes.
Yeah. So,
that would be an additional one. Would that be a humanitarian project that would...
To helping out friends and family? I don't know if that would be considered a humanitarian project or a noble cause. Okay, there is a difference in between a humanitarian project and a noble cause. All right, a noble cause is more personal, whereas a humanitarian project benefits everyone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sure.
I mean, I have two humanitarian projects. Shall I spill the beans and tell you what my two projects are?
Oh, please do.
Okay. Well, one of them is called Forums Group. Forums Group, I originally created as an answer to Yahoo groups going offline. I don't know if any of you guys have used Yahoo groups in the past. But I used them for years. It was a mailing list. In fact, not too unlike Telegram, except that it was more per email. So you replied via email and sent your message in, and you got messages back, or you could go onto the website and read the messages there and a long list of messages. In that way, it was similar to Telegram. And there were 10 million such groups. And the nice thing about it is that each group had its own group owner, and he or she was in complete control of what was happening. So I think Yahoo groups were destroyed because it would have been a great way to get the truth out, because it was not centrally organized, that they were all,
right.
You could see everyone. Each group was its own little group. So, it was not like Facebook where everybody can see what everybody's doing. Each one was a group for itself. And when Yahoo Groups was announced ahead of time that they were taking it offline, and a lot of people were saying, well, where can I move to? And I had this idea of creating a platform where they could move to. And so I spent this time building up this project and getting it, and the website's there. If you go to forums.group as a web domain, you'll actually see the project. But Yahoo Groups refused to play ball and refused to inform the members that this service was available. Now, I tried hard to send messages to the individuals, but it got very difficult. And we also had technical issues, which means we were not really ready in time. So that project is kind of never really got off the ground. But of course, it doesn't have to be Yahoo Groups. It could be Facebook groups. It could be Google groups or whatever. It doesn't have to be anybody coming from Yahoo. The idea was that we built the system to convert the messages from the one system and put them into forums in the new system. And my work in developing forums group is the basis of the forum we're using for NESARA GESARA QFS. It's basically the same template.
Right. Thank you.
So that was one of my projects. So my idea with that project was to make these available to humanitarian projects that they can sign up free. And the extra, which I wanted to do, is that if people can put together a good need for humanitarian projects and they're organizing it in one of these groups, that we also provide the funding to their group. That was my plan. So don't go all off and copying my plan, but that was one of my plans. The other one I have, and if I explain it briefly, I've been associated with a microscope inventor called Kurt Olbrich, who sadly died this year at the age of about 84 or something. And he developed an optical microscope which is far beyond the capabilities of normal optical microscopes. Normal optical microscopes have a limit of what they call 220 nanometers, which means 1,500 times you can magnify, and beyond that, you can't get a better image, which means you can't see viruses and things like that under optical microscopes. You can under electron microscopes, but there you're looking at something dead, not on something living. And if our microscopes were widespread, then this whole COVID thing would have been exposed much faster. And so I've been working for years, since 2002, I've been working on that project of getting the microscopes out there. And we were just about ready to start releasing microscopes in March of 2020. Well, guess what happened then? It came all the lockdowns, and 4 of our suppliers basically went bankrupt, which meant we couldn't move forward. And that has held us up. And so we had to try and find replacement companies, and then we were redesigning it, and we just ran out of funds. So we have this fantastic technology, which is, nobody else has microscopes with capabilities of resolving down to 100 nanometers, which we can do. We can see, and we've imaged the so-called AIDS virus or the HIV virus. Yeah, we can actually view living material with white light without damaging the cells. So this was a tremendous thing for humanity, because it would aid in the discovery and observation of diseases, but also in technology, and even chip manufacturers benefit from being able to see down to such levels. And this is a project I've been working on for so long. You can look at my website, greyfieldoptical.com. That's where the project is. And so
put that in the chat there, Peter. They were wanting to,
Yeah, and so that's the other project I'm running, and I want to use the ZIMS basically to finance that this project finally gets off the ground properly, and that we can start producing these microscopes in a good quantity and at affordable prices. So those are my 2 projects.
All right. But thank you, Patty. Appreciate it. Gina.
Thank you, too. I just wanted to say thank you for all that you do. We really appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Patty. Appreciate it. All right, Gina, go ahead.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Good.
Fine, fine.
Good. I had a project in mind for my Zim, and then when I heard you guys talking about the bond holders, then I thought, well, maybe because I only bought 100 trillion Zim, I wanted to actually try to purchase land and build wellness centers, if you will, for med beds for out in more like remote areas.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's
that going to
good.
be, I mean, am I going to have enough money to do that, or is that something more for the bondholders?
Well, it depends how good your business plan is. If you write a good business plan and explain what you need, that, you know, your business plan determines how much they give you.
Oh, okay. So you think that would be a good business plan or a good idea for a humanitarian project?
Let me explain it this way.
Okay.
They need people to do the work, right?
Okay.
They need
Right.
humanitarian projects need to be done, okay? And the people who have the money cannot do the work. They need people who are willing, able, and motivated to do the work. So if we've got a project which is helping humanity, you know, for them it's just money. You know, they have trillions of money. They want
quintillions, actually.
What they want is to have dedicated people doing the work to save the world, and that's our job. That's what we're all about. That's what this is all about, really.
Of course, I wouldn't physically be able to do it. I'd have to contract it out. But so that's where my business plan, I guess, comes in. Correct?
Yes.
Right.
But we'll be running these projects. So we get the funds. We have the motivation. We give them the business plan so they understand what we want to do. And then we have enough money so we can hire people, we can do everything we need to do to make it happen. It's much better that they give people like us this money than people who are just going to buy a Ferrari and a big house and a big yacht and then do nothing.
Right.
And then I had plan B I don't know that I could actually handle 2 projects at once. But then when I heard you all talking about the food shortages, then I was like, oh, well, maybe I should do that. Because I know all of these Walmarts are being closed. And I thought, wonder if I could just purchase one of those Walmart warehouses and just start filling it with food or something.
That would be good. Yeah.
That would be an easier project, probably.
Sure.
Yeah, but you have to have good security because if everybody's starving and they know there's food there, there's going to be a lot of trouble.
All right. Well, I guess that's really all I had to ask. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Gina. You have a blessed day. All right. Thomas Elliott, go ahead, sir.
Hi, Peter and Billy.
Hi.
Thanks for keeping the show going. We absolutely love it. It's I really enjoy it. So thanks for keeping it going.
Thank you.
We need people like you guys to keep this going for us. So thank you.
That's right.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So the problem I always have a question with Charlie and a few other people is they talk about this pantomime and Biden not being real Biden, yet he's on the stage. And I'm an ex-Royal Marine, so I've been in. When people talk about the mainstream media, I would go and take them over within a day. You could take them over straight away. So you've got the military doing all these clearing of the dumps, all these things around the world. Why can they not take the mainstream media down earlier? Why can't they show these public confessions sooner? And why can't they expose the fraud? This is
okay. That's pretty simple to answer. If you're in the military, you know about covert operations. And it's a massive thing taking down the deep state. It's not like 10 or 20 people. It's like millions of people have to take down. And if these people know they're being hunted, then they're going to be hiding and it's going to be much more difficult. So the idea is to keep up the pretense for as long as possible so that in the background, these people can be arrested. Without thinking that anything, as long as they think that their system is still running and is still moving on, and they think they have nothing to worry, and they carry on doing whatever they're doing, and then in the middle of the night they get a knock on the door and get arrested, and some of the big characters like Biden and whatever. As they're being arrested, actors are taking their place wearing masks. And the masks these days are incredibly accurate and incredibly good. So the reason the mainstream media has not been taken down is because we're keeping up the pretense so that it is easier to capture these people.
All right. So being in the military, you probably have heard a couple of different lines. Okay. One is loose lips sink ships. The other one is slow is fast, fast is slow. Okay.
So, final question. How can the redemption happen if you've still got Biden and these governments in power?
Well, GESARA stipulates that that all leaders of every government will have to leave the job. So if GESARA's announced, he has to leave anyway.
Okay. Right. We're just waiting for the events to happen now. Okay.
That's right.
You know, like the big event, the Queen's death. Okay, and then all of it coming out about Biden and his son and all of the corrupt politicians here in the United States, which is a three-front move at this point, because you have the Durham investigation coming out, you have all of the dirty stuff that the media is now coming out with Hunter Biden's laptop. They can't refute it anymore. All right, and then you have Putin over there gathering up all of the information from Ukraine, which he already had to begin with. Okay, but now he's presenting it in front of the UN and calling the United States out for the nefarious activities that we have been doing forever and a day. Okay, it's a three-front approach that they don't have enough fingers to put in the dike anymore. Okay, that's the flood. Okay,
thank you.
Does that make sense?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Thomas. Miranda Van Halen, is that correct?
Hello.
Hello. And any relation to the famous musicians?
No, I just I've been married twice. My second husband left when my daughter was 3, my last child. And when she was about 14, she said, I don't want to have his surname anymore. Well, I didn't either, actually. But so we count for names and we couldn't think of anything. And then she came across, it was one of our ancestors about 100 years ago. She was from the Dutch Van Halen family.
Oh, okay.
So she said, oh, I like that. Let's choose that. Well, she was too young and I'd never been into pop music, so we didn't know about the group. Because people say, oh, are you related to the group? No, we're not.
Okay, all right. Nice story, though. Nice story.
So where are you based?
In just outside Birmingham in UK.
Oh, right, okay.
All right.
I know Birmingham.
So what question you got for us?
The funny thing was that when we'd been up here for a few years, I came up in 2000 up here to do a glass course.
Right.
And, we were in an old book my brother had. We saw that the Van Halens were buried in the local churchyard, and I couldn't believe it. And then we found that they'd come over in the 1600s from Holland and settled there around this area, which I had no idea when I came to this area.
Cool.
Anyway, okay, my questions are...
So did you find the grave, by the way?
Well, we had a look, but because they're from 1600s and around there, the stones were, we couldn't find any that said it because the letters were worn away.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so one is about this food business of stocking up on food, which I think is a great idea. But in England, as you know, we don't have any guns. And yes. I know that from one of my daughter's ex-boyfriends, he wasn't a gangster, but he sort of knew people that were a bit shady. And he said the easiest thing is to get a gun. But suppose if people know that you've got food, and I don't see how one could really hide it, it's a bit worrying because, there are some pretty nasty people in UK.
Yeah. There's nasty people everywhere. Yeah,
exactly. And we've certainly got our share around here. The odd stabbing and the odd shooting in country towns every so often. So I'm just wondering, how on earth could one, store the food? I know you say buy a flat.
No, here's the thing. You start networking Okay, and it's especially if you have the Zim and you go to the appointment and whatnot, tell them what you want to do, and maybe they can help you get security details for what you want to do. It's all about networking. Okay, there'll be plenty of people out there that want to help with this type of thing. Ex-military, ex-police, things of that nature. Police forces, that hire out. There are policemen that hire out for private events and other details other than just doing police work. Okay, and military do that too. My nephew, who is a corrections officer for the local prison here, all right, still goes out and does bouncing work at a local bar, a couple of local bars here. Okay, so there are people out there who are willing to do that type of thing. It's just a matter of networking and finding out. And if you need help with that, I'm sure you can get help with that.
Yeah,
okay?
But I would also suggest something else. Don't put it all in one place.
No.
Preferably have several locations where you put your food. So if one is discovered, you don't lose everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
You could just bury it in a garden if you dig a hole and cover it over.
Well, I've thought of that as well.
Yeah.
Now, aren't you people over there in England used to digging moats? I mean, back in the long time ago, that's what they did, right?
Well, a moat. Well,
digging moats. Okay.
I think you'll be watching too many films, Billy.
That's my problem. I do watch way too many movies.
There are not that many moats left in the UK, and they're normally around tourist attractions.
Darn, I was going to say I can send you alligators and piranha. That's not a problem.
Well, you got those in the Everglades, haven't you? But then they want to be fed as well.
Exactly.
Okay. Right. Anyway, that's great. The second thing is about these notes. I just bought some Zim. Mm-hmm. Which I had no idea they had to be a special denomination. But Billy, you posted yesterday in the forum where I'd asked about it, and you said, they have to be from 2008, and they have to be the AA series. And I thought, oh God, that's me gone, because I just bought a selection and didn't know this. And anyway, after you'd posted that, I had a look, and I found that I've got several that the number starts with AA and then the number. Is that what you meant?
That's right.
Yes, yeah. That is correct. Okay, but they have to be the 2008. Okay,
they are
year.
Well, they are. If there has AA, they are 2008.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Well, anyway, I've definitely got several that are sort of. I think one's 50 billion or something. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so that's that. And then I've just got one dinar note and one dong for like 20,000. Okay, so what I'd like to know, if you can help, is I would like to buy a house for each of my 4 children. They're all of them good children. All of them have worked hard. My older one, she's 45. The next one's 44. And the next one's 40, and then my youngest one. Will we be able, can we ask, we say we'd like money to do that with, or are they not interested in that?
Well, let me put it this way. You get, I think, 30 million for your own use. I think for 30 million, you can buy a few houses.
Well, it's 30 cents on the million. She doesn't have a $100 trillion note.
Right, okay.
Okay, so it's 30 cents on the million. You said you had a $1 billion note or $500 billion note or something like that. So
1 second, I've got them right here. You want to take somebody else while I?
Yeah, I say we actually need to keep the
we got to keep moving
time
on
down
here.
each person so that more people have a chance.
10,000 dinar.
Right. Okay.
And 200,000 dong.
Right.
Okay.
And the and then I've got 25 billion Zim. That's one of the notes. So for that one, $25 billion.
You should get a nice rate for that.
So how much did you say? 30 cents on
the million
for each million? 30 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for each millionth. Oh,
Yes.
God. Well, that's hardly anything then, is it?
Yeah,
No.
but you can still buy them. So I would get them on a note or something. Get 100 trillion, and then you'll be fine.
Okay. So per million, it's 30 cents. Is that for all of them, or just?
No, that's
for the
for all the
Zims.
Zims. That's for the Zims.
Okay. All right. And then, for example, one of my daughters, she's got an interior design company, but she's done work for about 10 years and almost with no pay whatsoever to make the benchmark for sustainability in commercial design, because it was an incredibly wasteful thing, you know, and the trees being cut down, everything. So she's one of the sort of, anyway, she's done an incredible work, and they even gave her an honorary FRCS or something after her name. Would I be? She has her business, but it's quite hard keeping it running because of finance. Would that be something again that would they be? Could I ask for that?
You could do that. You could do that for your own money, but that would not be a humanitarian project. Okay. That would be something you would have to invest on your own.
Okay. The last thing for myself, I've always been into healing, and like Peter was saying, I don't know if these, but the spooky two, is that the RIFE ones, Peter, you know?
Oh, you're talking about spooky two. We actually don't like the spooky guys. Has a long history, and basically they you know, the spooky two started off on the forum I run, rifeforum.com.
Yeah.
And we are very well informed about the history and what really happened. And they were just basically inventing stories, and you know, we just saw them a bit more as scammers, and we eventually kicked them out because they were bad mouthing all the legitimate technologies, so everybody would go for their system. And I had an awkward problem where they were telling people who were seriously ill, oh, don't do anything else, don't see your doctor, just do what we want to do. And then they were getting worse, and I had 90 complaints, and I said, I just can't carry on with this, because it's just it's
right.
Anyway,
so I had to kick them out. So they have their own forum, they do their own thing. They're still quite loud, but I personally wouldn't recommend spooky. I do not have a spooky.
All right, Miranda.
Well, unfortunately, I got it, but also I don't follow them anymore, because like you, I followed the chap that branched off from them called David Bork.
Yeah, no, yeah.
All right, Miranda, we got to move on.
We got to move on. If we spend too much time with one guy, we'll have complaints. So other people want a chance as well.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You. Colette Devine. Hello, dear.
Hi there. On your recommendation, I did business with Great American Coin Company, and I got 250 trillion ZEMs. One is an AA series, and the other one is a ZA, which is a series replacement note uncirculated. Does that?
Yeah. That's
well. Let me put it this way. I have been hearing that although they've officially said the AA notes, they might turn a blind eye, because it's all about your project, not about the paper in your hand.
Right.
Well, should I buy 100 trillion?
100 trillion is the ideal thing to buy. Yes. 100 trillion with the AA.
Yeah, it is the ideal. Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't matter whether it's circulated, uncirculated.
Doesn't matter.
It's 2008.
Yeah,
right.
Normally they're uncirculated.
Okay.
Yeah, 2008 AA, and Great American Coin Company sends you a certificate of authenticity and everything else.
Yes.
So you got it. That's exactly
okay.
it.
Well, thank you, Miranda, for bringing that up, because that was not on my list.
All right.
Thank you for recommending Donna Heckler, the lady on your video, on your Telegram channel, the lady that did the 2-hour video on proposals.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, how do the RV people know who to reach and how to reach us?
No, we contact them.
How do we contact them?
They're going to be releasing phone numbers and links. Yeah, the 800 numbers and links, and basically they're going to be made available through groups like ours to all the people who have the ZEMs and things, and then it's up to us to call and make an appointment.
Yeah.
So you'll let us know those numbers?
Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Once it's up, it'll be on our new website. I'll be posting it in Telegram if it's still up, still up and running. We'll be posting it through our Signal groups, and I'll be sending out a mass message and also messages in a bottle. I have plenty of Coke bottles sitting around, and I also have carrier pigeons. Okay.
Okay, and we take these Zims with us, obviously.
Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah, to the appointment. Yes, most definitely.
Not only should you take the Zims with you, you should also take the receipts for how you bought them.
Yeah, the certificates of authenticity, receipts, all that, proper documentation. Okay.
Is there somewhere where we can go where we can educate ourselves in this process?
Yeah, it's called NESARA, GESARAQFS.com.
Yeah. I mean, most of the information is already up on the website. Okay.
Yeah. Admittedly, there's not too much on the website there, but the website's only a week and a half old. So we're still building that, but we're going to be posting as much info as we can as we get time. I say that I've had to spend a lot of time on the infrastructure, getting the technology working, but that's pretty much done now. And we're going to start putting real materials into the forum now.
Okay, awesome. And Billy, I guess to contact you, will you do that through the chat and will you see it?
Oh yeah, I monitor most of the posts unless I'm sleeping. Okay.
Well, you're allowed to sleep? I don't believe it.
Okay. The other question
a cat nap every once in a while.
Do we need to follow? And you may not want to answer this, Billy, for liability standpoint, but do we need to follow the tax extension?
No, you know what? Just hold off on filing your taxes as long as you possibly can. Okay. I have a feeling that they're going to be pushing back that date like they did last year. Okay. And also, if things happen, it's all going to go bye-bye anyway. All right.
Okay.
But, if we have to play the game for right now.
That's right. Play the game. Just keep thinking of reasons why you can't hand it in.
Keep paying your bills. Be nice little slaves for now, and then we'll turn on them. Okay.
So do you think the real Ides of March is the 28th, since we're in the Julian calendar?
That's a possibility.
That's possible. Yeah.
Okay. Because the Gregorian calendar and the Julian calendar are 13 days apart.
Right.
Yeah. Right. One of my best friends in the UK is called Julian, so I always think of him when they talk about that calendar.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Thank you for everything you do. Right. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Colette. All right. Karen Doss. Hi, Karen.
Good afternoon. Hi.
Hello, Karen.
Calling from Los Angeles, California. And just quick, you pretty much answered most of the things that I needed to know in that previous caller, because I was going to ask about the different groups. I think that there's the 4B, the T4B group or something.
4A, 4B, the tiers, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's what we are in now, but I didn't know if that made a difference if you didn't submit the plan that you wanted to do, because I kind of grew into that, because there's so many things I'd like to do, but I don't know how to specify exactly what it is I want to do. There's too many things to do.
Start writing a business plan. You'll still work it out.
Yeah. So anyway, so when Nick was when he's talking to other people about what's going on now, I feel the same way when I tell people about what's happening, what's going on. So there's really nothing we can say to them because they're still sleeping. Is that the deal?
Yeah, basically that's. Well, I put it this way: we have tiers 4A, tier 4B. The people who are still asleep, they're just going to have the tiers.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Well, I totally appreciate you guys. You're very, very helpful. And I really like the information that you've given us. And it makes me feel a lot better just knowing that you guys are going to blast the 800 numbers when they do come available.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. We're keeping an eye on that because we want to know ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
We want to set our appointments. And everybody's asking, how long do you have in order to get everything taken care of? We've been told it's about 90 days to get your appointments set. Okay. And so as soon as you get the 800 number, get your appointment set. All right. And then once they know that the bulk of people have got their appointment set, then they'll start releasing things to the general public. And but we want to get those appointments set as soon as we possibly can. Get everybody that's in the tier 4B, which is us, get everything taken care of so we can go out and do the good works.
I've been hearing it might be faster than that because they basically want to get us in and out very quickly, so before they start announcing it to the public.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. And the 4th of April is like right around the corner.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Very exciting time.
I would keep your eye on the groups and everything right now. Just
I am.
So that we're ready. Make sure you got your T's crossed and your I's dotted, as we say over here.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Will
right.
do. Thanks so much, you guys, for everything you do.
Thank
okay.
you,
Thank you.
Matthew
take care.
Fotu. Hello, Matthew. Are you there? Matthew Fotu? No Matthew Fotu.
No, I'm looking
right.
forward
Samantha
to Samantha
Harding.
Exactly. Samantha in Jamaica.
Samantha Harding, go ahead.
That's the one we've been waiting for.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hello, Samantha.
All right. Thanks again, just briefly to the other guys. So thank you for tuning in the show. I actually learned more from this recently than I had on the other shows, purely because of what they're not allowed to say, I suppose.
You're a little bit hard to understand.
Yeah, I don't know if your microphone is connected correctly or if your settings are, through, you have your microphone set for your computer or through your headset.
Is that any better?
No, yeah, that was a bit better.
All right, a little bit better. Go ahead.
Carry on.
Okay. So the first question was, any update about the Queen and dates at all?
You want to know? You want to know when she died or what?
Well, the Queen's already been dead for a long time, or at least 2 years. All right, but here's the thing. And now they're starting to print up stuff over in China about the Queen's death being in 2022. All right. So if they're already printing memorabilia that's going to be sold to the general public and whatnot, it's imminent. All right.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when they announce it.
There is a flaw in that theory, Billy.
Okay.
Because when it came to the American elections in 2016, they'd printed up all these booklets about Madam President and, the Hillary Clinton. They had them all printed, and they had not printed such a booklet for the Trump being president.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, but they didn't think she was going to. Lose.
That's right. Yes.
Right.
And they got caught with their pants down.
And those things were, done by people who were like, yeah, we're going to get Hillary in because we got it rigged.
Yeah.
Well, you can't rig a death, really, can you? Well,
yes, you
can. There's Elvis. Okay. There's JFK Jr. There's Lady
Princess
Diana. There's. Yeah, I guess you can rig a death, but
JFK Jr.
Yeah, all right. But
okay.
those are nice ponderables that I like to say.
Right. Yes.
All right. It's like a.
I'm more pondering what it would be like in Jamaica these days. Must be beautiful weather.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's very hot.
My favorite author, Ian Fleming. The first book he wrote. He was in Jamaica when he wrote it. Okay.
Yeah, it's an amazing place for sure.
Yeah.
And my other question was relating to the DOMs, and if you're aware of any that are still waiting to be what do you call it, neutralized.
The DOMs.
Yeah. There's still a few, and the big one that has to be taken out is the CERN. And I believe there was an earthquake in Switzerland today. Is that right?
No, I didn't look at that particularly, but it could be. I thought CERN had already been taken out, but certainly, are there any DOMs in Jamaica? This is the question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that I'm aware of, but
we're not aware of it. This is the problem.
And we don't. I haven't felt
any earthquakes recently.
No.
Well, you may be okay then.
Yeah, it tends to be on the other islands, like Haiti and places like that. So
yeah,
we're aware of. The other thing I just wanted to mention about the token you were discussing at the beginning.
Yes.
And so I just had a very quick look at the definition of token. And I thought my feeling is that the exchange rate will be based upon the collective frequency of a country. That's just my absolute feeling. So I just looked at the definition of token. It's a thing serving as a visible or tangible representation of a fact, quality, feeling, etc. It could technically be a free.
I mean, a token can be anything. It doesn't have to be, you know, a little round disc or anything like that. It could be the rainbow currency that we've all seen. That would be a token.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it. That's it. So yeah, no, I just come across that, and very lastly, the actual phrase "a token" equates to 66.
A token, yeah.
Equates to 66, which also equates to freedom.
Exactly.
So I think that the word freedom.
So I say time will answer all these questions as things roll out, and it's exciting.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Samantha.
Guys. Take care.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Kenichi? Moraz?
Switch on your microphone. We can't hear you.
You got to switch on your microphone, dear.
You switch on your microphone.
Bottom right-hand corner.
Yes.
Bottom left-hand corner. There you go.
Got it.
This is Norma. I don't know. It's just appears like in my Gmail. So that's it's Norma Cardoso.
Hi, Norma.
Yeah.
It's an explanation about what happened because maybe this helps to many people because I was registered, but there was to get into the chat to the webinar, I have to confirm something. So I have to tick a box. Until I didn't tick the box, I didn't receive an email. So maybe that's what is preventing many people to. Yeah.
Can I share the screen?
Yeah. Give me just a second.
So let me just see if I can get this working. Let me just pull this up here, and see if
you got your share screen button.
Well, I'm just trying to work it out. There, I've got to click share screen. Host disabled participant share screening. So you're not letting me do it yet.
Okay. Give me just a second here. All right, I'm just going to make you the host real quick, okay?
Okay, make me the host. All right, great. I'm the host again. How wonderful. So now I can share the screen, and let me share. And so can you see the website now?
Yes, I can see.
This is the website, right?
Yeah.
So in order to be sent the emails, you have to be subscribed. So that means you go to subscriptions here, and here you can subscribe. You can choose whatever. Now there are two. There are live and recorded webinars, and there's recorded webinars only. If you don't want to take part in the live shows, you can do the bottom one. But obviously you're in the live show right now, so you have to subscribe. And what happens is that when you subscribe, you say, even my account is this is my demo account. So basically, when you've subscribed, and this particular demo account has subscribed, then you're able to get into this area here. So the live webinars is where you go, and then you can click down here, and there you can see the link for tonight's show. Okay, so we'll be releasing the link to the next show shortly after this program's over. So you'll have days to look for the link ahead of time. So
yes.
No,
at the end I received 2 minutes I received, but only after I tick a little box where saying that say like I received a notification. This is just because it was useful for me for if someone has a problem, just to do that.
So what you did is you went to the bottom of the forum.
Yes, I went. I think it went to notification.
This is what you did. You went to subscribe forum, didn't you? Down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that as well. I'm actually going to be adding
no, but I'm okay now because I received the email. But
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Now, what I do when these things is about an hour before the show begins, I then send a mass email, and that goes to everybody who's subscribed. So not everybody who's a member of the forum, those people who have subscribed because they're in a special user group. And so in one go, I can automatically send a message to everybody who has a valid subscription. And I actually did that twice today, and still I was getting messages saying, I'm a member. Now, it looks like it takes a while for some people to get the email. So I think we're going to start sending out the message maybe 2 hours ahead of time.
Okay.
But I say, and of course, just so we complete it, the recorded webinars is where you're going to find the recording. So this particular webinar will appear there probably by tomorrow, episode 3, which is this one. So this is where, you just click on there, and there you can see the show, and you can just play it. And the way we got it set up is these links will only work on the forum. So even if you worked out what the link was to this video, because it's on Vimeo, it will not work outside the forum.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. My question is.
You want to give me back the host, Peter?
Oh, you want the host back? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I was so happy to have the host back. Let's give it back to you. Make host. Do I really want to make him? Yes. Okay, let's do it. I'm good today. You should have it now.
Do I get a cookie?
Oh,
computer cookies.
Okay, computer cookies. Okay, all right, good. All right, go ahead, Norm.
Well, my question is, if I have dongs, if I want to buy something for my children, my 2 children, should I buy myself, or how do I give them the money to buy a property?
The dongs can be freely exchanged at any currency exchange after the RV hits. You don't have to make an appointment for those.
Yes, but the legal. If I have to, you mentioned something, the poor something, power of attorney. How do I send the money to them?
You can set up a trust.
Yeah, no, what you can do, I mean, what I would do in your case, I would have a load of Dong or Dina or whatever, go to the appointment, get the money, then the money is in your hands, and then it's up to you. You can just do a transfer from one person to another.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Then you don't have to make it too complicated and explain them everything, and just get the money yourself, and then it's up to you to distribute it as you feel right, as they deserve it.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Another thing I want to ask you, I do a spiritual healing, so I'm helping people because I feel it's like a call.
Yes.
Yes.
But at the moment I'm doing free, and I have clients also.
Right.
I do mostly online. So how this will fit in the new system?
Well, you're a healer, aren't you?
The healer.
Yes.
We need healers. Yeah.
We need healers. There'll be plenty of opportunity.
I'm architect by profession. I am architect. I worked like 27 years.
We'll need architects too. So
yes,
you can probably do both.
And also a lot of things, because what will happen with the registration boards, for instance, because it was very difficult to register here in the UK, but I have this done. So what happened with all these institutions?
Most of the institutions will not exist anymore because they are all tax and government based.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there will still be 10% of the government left over. And I say a lot of the regulations and rules, which are all legal, not lawful, are going to go. But there are still going to be rules, because obviously we should not be attacking people, we should not be killing people, we should not be stealing people, we should be honest in our business. These are all common law rules, which very much will still apply.
Yeah.
But you know, all this thing about registration, like registering our birth, registering our cars, that's all about the deep state taking ownership away from us.
Right.
Because when you register your car, you're basically saying to the state, the car now belongs to you and I'm just a registered user.
Exactly. I saw that. Yeah, you mentioned.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We got to move on.
Yeah, let's move
here.
on to Pat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. We're
no,
running short of time
fine.
here.
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, Pat, go ahead and unmute, dear.
Evening, gentlemen. It's evening here in the UK.
Yes.
Well, I'm almost on your time. Only an hour ahead of you, Pat.
What I wanted to ask was, you may not be able to answer. Do you have any idea when in this pantomime that the precious metals are going to move up? Is it going to be before, during, after the interview, or during the encore?
Well, I don't. Does it actually matter? I would just say get some, and within a short period, it should go up massively.
I mean, the time frames will all work out on on themselves. I mean, as we move into the RV, everything is going to be gold, silver, precious metal backed as far as currencies are concerned. So I think that the valuation of your silver and gold is probably going to go up exponentially once the RV actually hits. It has to, because everything is going to go to a gold backed system.
Right. Okay. So it's going to be when the RV hits, you think?
Yeah. When the RV hits, that's when it's all going to go sky high.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Pat. Richard Beecroft, go ahead.
Yeah, hi guys. Good to see you. I'm from Ottawa, Canada, and it's pretty quiet. It's pretty quiet here. It's the truckers left, but we had a great 3 weeks. Really wonderful 3 weeks. So my question was about the business plan. You need sort of guidelines. So far, I have 3 pages. Is that too much or too little? Or
no, that's about right.
3 pages, a little bit. Well, I was told 5 to 10 pages it should be. Some people have 45 pages, which is probably overdoing it. A lot of business plans are, which when you normally learn how to do business plans, are pretty long. I remember I've written a few business plans, and you go into 5-year development and all that kind of thing. I think you can probably skip some of that. Basically, you've got to write enough that it's plausible and understandable what it is you're actually trying to do. That's what they want to know. They don't want to spend hours looking at a business plan. They want to spend 20 minutes reading through it and then knowing what you're about.
Right. This is not something you're going to submit and they're going to mull over for days on end. Okay. They want to know.
They don't have the time to mull over it.
Yeah, they're going to want a short, concise, synopsis of what you want to do.
The KISS, keep it short and simple.
Okay.
Okay. Brilliant. And the other question is, in Canada, I still get the same amount of money every month as, say, in like the $5,000 a month for
people over 60.
Yeah, for people over 60, it's going to be 1-to-1 anyway, the new currency, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So the 5,000, whatever it is, if it's going to be Canadian.
Okay.
It doesn't matter whether it's US dollars, Canadian dollars, marks, francs, rubles, what have you. It'll all be 1-to-1.
Tokens.
Okay. Tokens. Okay.
Good.
All right.
The last question is, I have a nice charity that I've run for years. And about the med beds, is it being rolled out by the military?
For now.
The military are the ones who own all the med beds.
Yes.
And they won't be giving ownership. So you might have private clinics running them, but they're under auspices of the military, because the military will own them and all treatments will be free.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Thanks so much, you guys.
All right. Thank you, Richard. Rick Hardy, go ahead.
Well, hello, Peter and Billy. Thank you so much for all you're doing. I'm glad that you continued this. That's
fantastic. Right, yes.
Well, thank you.
And I'm in a great state of Ohio, which it's kind of a liberal little area that I'm in, so I'm trying to get people to take their masks off and those sorts of things. But my question is about Iraq. I keep hearing that so much of this is tied to Iraq as far as them moving through and see the government and that sort of thing. And I'm just wondering if you feel that, what your thoughts are there, and also if you think they might move.
From what I've seen is they've already signed off on their currency revaluation, all right, and they've already paid their debt to Kuwait, which they owed, all right, and that happened through the QFS, all right. That was the first major transaction that went through the QFS, if I'm remembering correctly. So once that happened, yeah, Iraq is already taken care of. That's why you saw Russia move forward with kicking SWIFT out. That's why you saw China kick SWIFT out and India kick SWIFT out. It all came down to those countries kicking out the SWIFT and telling the global bankers, basically, go F yourself. We're not dealing with you anymore. Okay.
Excellent.
And that's all of those currencies have gone gold back. All right. As I understand it, Vietnam is already there. Zimbabwe is already there. Libya is already there. And a couple of others. Okay.
It's like the snowball on the top of a snow-filled mountain. Starts off small, and as it gets bigger and bigger, it comes to an avalanche. And we've already half the population of the world in countries which are switching or have switched. It's going to be unstoppable. The remaining countries are just going to have to switch because they're going to still need energy. They're still going to need fuel and stuff which they can only get from the countries which have switched. So it's just a matter of time.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rick. Kirsten's iPhone.
Hello.
Hello, Kirsten.
I'm calling from Wilmington, North Carolina again. I just wanted to see if there was a way. I know you want everyone to move to the forum, but Peter, your Telegram channel was amazing. Everything you were putting on there. I was just wondering if you could put maybe Judy's intel on there, or
I could do it. I say I've been putting the intel on the forum for now. To be honest, I've been a little bit slow on putting out intel simply because I was so overloaded with getting the forum running. And I only have 24 hours a day, and sometimes I want to sleep.
No,
and I must admit, the intel did suffer a bit because I was just so overloaded. Particularly,
you were so busy.
I was so busy. Yeah. So I must admit, the last couple of weeks, the intel has been rather thin because I just didn't have the time in the day.
And I know Billy puts it on his, and I love that.
Yeah, that's right. Yes,
have Billy's on there as well.
I think for the interim, I will start putting stuff back on the Telegram group as well. Simply because there are so many people there and not enough people on the forum. We need to take everybody. In fact, while we're talking about it, let me just ask you guys to do something. We want to expand this whole project because at the moment, I think the forum has like 800 members at the moment, and we need to reach more people. So if you're members of other groups which don't know about us yet, tell them, because there is no prerequisite to have anything to do with Charlie Ward anymore. We are completely separate from them now. And we can invite anybody to join our forum who's interested in what we're doing. There's no link to Charlie anymore. There's no reason to restrict it to that group of people.
I think it's easier to do it on the computer than it is on the phone. And I'm always on the phone. So that's why I just love the Telegram, because it's easier. That's all.
That's right. Yeah. But the forum actually offers a lot more facilities. And I will be adding more features to the forum soon. Which makes it even easier. One of the features due to come soon is the fact that you might be able to post via emails. That's a feature which hasn't been implemented yet, but it's on the list.
One quick question. The receipts for the dong I ordered on online, and I didn't get a receipt. So does that matter?
eBay or whatever?
No, it was on one of the Exchange for America, I think is what it was called.
Yeah, but they should normally have something which shows that you bought it from them, even if it's even as a printout.
Yeah, either from them or your bank.
I might have an email from them, but I don't have a receipt with my money that I got. So
well, whatever you have, just so they can see that you actually bought it from there.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And just the Queen is supposed to take a helicopter ride on the 29th for the lady who was asking about the Queen. So that could be
and she was looking for a new helicopter pilot too.
Exactly.
Well, you mean one who wanted to commit suicide? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you see what happened at the British Olympics, where they had this James Bond little film, where the Queen actually jumps out of a helicopter to land?
Yeah, exactly. Back when they were in the Olympics were in London. Yeah.
That was beautiful. That scene.
That was cute. Maybe that's foretelling the future. Could be.
Maybe.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Right. All right. Chris Finnerty.
Hey
How
guys.
you doing, Chris?
Hey, good man, Billy. Hey, I'll keep this real quick. Couple quick questions. So, revaluation of currencies. What do you guys think about the Venezuela currency that's been so suppressed for so long? Does that fall under? We've always been talking about Zim, Dinars, Dongs, but have you heard anything regarding the Bolivar or whatever it is?
No.
Well, it's very possible that will go up as well. It just hasn't been one which is talked about so much, but it's very possible that will go. The Zims, the Dinars, and whatever. Then we know about those. So that's why we say go with what we know. The rest is a little bit of a guess.
Right, I understand that. And on humanitarian projects, I mean, a lot of us talk about humanitarian projects. We're gonna have all this money to fund them, but can you charge for? Are they free? Do they need to be free to the public, let's say, or can you charge for them not to necessarily make money, but at least to pay overhead?
The overhead will be paid with the money you get from your Zims.
Yeah.
You'll have so much money with this.
You got ongoing overhead, if you had chefs and you had people that are growing food and, you've got workers, you're going to be paying them a wage.
Yeah.
But you'll also be selling those wares as well. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. But write that all in your business plan so that all those needs are actually included. So
you're still going to have prices for goods and services. Okay. So
we're still operating a business.
We're still operating a business, but just at a different, at a different price point. Okay?
Gotcha.
All right. And
one other just quick thing, and that was, I know that they're supposed to seat Iraq, the government, this week or this weekend. And then they say if they don't seat them, then they're going to go back to an open election, have another election. Do you see that holding up them reevaluating the currency, or is my intel off?
Well, it's very hard to see what is going to happen in Iraq because the story has been changing so often. So I think we're just going to have to wait and see on that one because it's just there's too many confusing messages.
Right. I mean, we don't have boots on the ground in Iraq with direct intel on that. So it's all speculation at this point.
Yeah.
Fair enough, guys. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. Sue Bonham, go ahead. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Sue.
Hi, Sue. Yeah.
Hi. Hey, I was with Charlie for I've been with Charlie for quite a while. He never mentioned anything about the Zim having to be certain. I was just wondering, because after I started watching you guys and you said that, I was like, I better go back and look and see what my husband and I got.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one Zim that we got here. Two of them, thank goodness, had the AAA, but one has a Z and an A, like the other woman had.
Bring it with you. Bring it with you. They may overlook that.
Yeah,
okay.
That's right.
As long as it's 2008 currency.
Yeah,
I say they don't really care that much about what wherever the currency is exact. What they care about is that we have projects which we're prepared to do.
Right.
And need funding for because that's what they need done. They have the money. They have lots of money, but they need boots on the ground. They need people actually doing the work, and that's what this is all about.
All right. But
Okay, well, let's keep it to one question per person so that we can.
Yeah, we're very short on time here. We got about another 10 minutes. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, and Tamara will only allow in if she actually switches her camera on.
All right. All right. Thank you, Sue. Athena, go ahead. Athena.
Sorry,
I have to unmute everything.
Yeah. Okay. So, hello, Athena.
Hello, how are you? I'm at work.
Oh, right.
So
Great. We can see you.
There are lots of questions going around. So my question to you guys is, first of all, thank you very much. This is awesome. And second of all, what question do you wish us would be asking you guys?
What do we wish? Well, that's a good one. And that is a good one. We never really talk about, everybody's talking about the revaluation and everything else, and I try to post, Peter does a lot more intel on what's happening with NESARA, GESARA. I'm more with the spirituality of things and what's coming, all right, and getting into, all right, how do we cleanse? How do we, get our minds right? And like, Charlie has said, set your moral compass straight. How do we do all that in order to prepare ourselves for what's to come?
Actually, you got me slightly wrong there, Billy, because I have some connection with spirituality. A friend of mine who actually lives in Spain, not far from Charlie, he wrote an excellent book on spiritual. It's a bit like Conversations with God. Mm-hmm. And as that friend of mine is German, he wrote the book in German. I actually had the job of translating his book into English. And I want to do a special where we invite him onto the show and talk about spirituality, because he's a great guy, Gerd, his name. And I think that would be a great topic for a special edition of our show. Sure. Because I think rather than always just having shows in this format, I think we're going to experiment and do some specials where we have a guest brought in and talk about that topic as well. So instead of me doing a lot of intel, I mean, once a week could be enough for intel, and then the other week we could do a special guest, and that is certainly one I'm certainly planning on doing. So do you guys think that's a good idea?
You just comment in the chat there if you think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I agree. Thank you.
That way we can do a couple of different things and talk about different things. I mean, it's not all about, what kind of money we're going to get. All right. There's a lot of spirituality that goes.
That's right.
I'm not talking about religion here, folks. I'm talking about spirituality. There's a big difference between religion
I'll send you a copy of his book, Billy, so you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. But thank you for that question, Sujata.
Hi. So I'm wondering regarding the reevaluation, and do you have any ideas for a backstory to tell, friends and family who are going to be like, what's going on? Like, you have this different lifestyle. How to deal.
One day I was shooting at some food and up through the ground came a bubbling crude. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh, well, I would say, hey, I just won the lottery. Great. That's where I got my money from, or suddenly I started this new business. It was called GESARA QFS, and millions of people joined, and we suddenly had some money in the bank.
Yeah, exactly. And then,
except they'll then look at the forum and see that there are no millions of members.
Right. My family's from Scotland. All of a sudden, my ancestors got a hold of me, and they told me that I own a castle in Scotland, over in Newtonmore.
Oh, really? Okay? I actually have ancestors in Scotland as well. My great grandfather came from near Glasgow.
There is actually a portrait that is of one of my ancestors that I am the spitting image of in a castle over there in Newtonmore, Scotland. It's about 75 miles southeast of Loch Ness in the Highlands.
Oh, okay.
Well, you should get a copy of that and frame it.
I should.
Yeah. Well, my great grandfather was a watchmaker. He made watches, Walker's watches, in the Glasgow area.
And
but I also don't want
Yeah.
I don't want just like all different distant cousins and everyone who's ever known me or knows
Gotta
someone
keep
who
your
knows
cards
me.
close to your chest, you know.
That's right.
Keep those cards close to you, okay?
They only know what you tell them. So if you don't tell them,
Exactly.
they don't know.
Right. Don't go out and buy a bunch of expensive baubles and
Or at
things of that nature.
don't tell them that you know. I mean,
Right.
if you can buy a new car and you say, oh yeah, I just got a nice new car or something.
Yeah.
And if it's not a massive, Lamborghini or something, then if it's a relatively normal car, they won't think much about it.
Mm-hmm. All right, but thank you, Sujata. Appreciate it. All right, Doreen D'Ambrosio. I hope I got that right.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can.
Oh,
Where are
guys.
you?
I'm from New York.
New York,
So,
okay.
First and foremost, thank you for what you're doing. Second of all, I had taken my money out of a local bank, little small local bank, and I submitted it to Wells Fargo, some of it. But I have cash on hand. Can you turn that into the new currency when it comes? Or is it going to be coins?
Cash,
No.
yeah, cash you should be able to exchange, and there'll be a certain number of days where you can exchange it.
Interestingly enough, has anybody ever seen a new Federal Reserve note past 2017? You know,
no, but when I went, go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, there hasn't been any circulated since 2017. Isn't that interesting that no cash from the Federal Reserve has been circulated that has a date later than 2017? So why do you think that is?
That reminds me.
I don't know.
That means they say they've been printing money, but they really haven't. Okay.
When I went to the bank on 2/22/22, they gave me a $2 bill, and we were just giving them out. But in the back of it, they had all our forefathers signing the Declaration of Independence. It was really nice. I sent it to my granddaughter.
Yep.
All right. So my next question is, I don't have a humanity project. I have. I would like to give the note back, and for whatever God intended it to be. Is that okay to go in there with the Zim and say, listen, I don't have it? Will they still give me money for that?
Well, they should give you up to 30 million for the 100 trillion note. That's for personal use. And then you could say anything beyond that, you could choose a humanitarian project.
Well, that's what I said. If they ask me, I have several suggestions, but I don't have a project myself. Will they still accept it back?
Oh yeah.
But what I'm suggesting, what I'm thinking we could do, I've just started a humanitarian project section on the forum where we could present the projects that we're thinking of doing. And if anybody like you says, I'm looking for a project to finance, maybe you'll find one in our forum, which is worthy from our group. That's a possibility.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Also, my next question is, can you bring I'm older, so can you bring one of your adult children with you to kind of help you navigate this computer stuff and phone stuff? Because there's going to be no more money from what I listened to Charlie. Everything's going to be on a digital phone. And
that's right. We're going to get it. We're getting a Q phone, but I mean, I've seen some images of the environment. It's going to be pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it will.
It's a bit like a banking app which you have now, that you can see your balance, you can see what money has been spent, and that kind of thing.
Right.
This kind of money is. I mean, I come from Depression era parents, so this money is far beyond my realm of comprehension. It really is.
For us
so
too.
I would I mean, I would like to buy like a home for myself and my children. So that won't be. They don't question you with that. Whatever 30 million say.
The 30 million. Do what you like with it.
Do what you want with it. Yeah.
Okay. Now I also have my dad who passed away. He left some silver dollars and silver coins, and I haven't. There was a collector who wanted to buy them. That's not a lot, but should I hold on to them?
Hold on to them.
Oh yeah. Because silver's going to go up. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Right now, simple silver is trading at about $27 an ounce. It's supposed to go up to over $3,000 an ounce.
So you would measure out the coins, and that's how they tell you what it's worth?
Yeah, based on the weight, isn't it? The weight
based on the weight. Yeah, if it's an ounce,
So these are euro notes. They're from 2013. The ones I've got.
Mm-hmm.
It's the local the currency here in Europe. Yeah?
So when we get our, when I have my Dong, Dinar and my Dong, I just bring it in with the Zims too, and they put everything on the Q phone, and that's, you know.
That's
right.
Okay.
Maybe you'll be given a Q phone at your meeting. Who knows?
And can you bring one of your children with you, or he has to be alone?
I think you can bring them to the appointment. They may not let them into the room.
Okay.
When your actual appointment takes
when you
place.
When you make the appointment, ask them, because they're going to tell you what their local policy is.
I mean, we've all done this together, me and my children, so they already know what I'm going to get because they know what the evaluation is. And I know that don't say anything to anybody, not even your spouse.
Yes,
that's true, right? Okay, so and then I think that's about it, and I just have to tell you guys, thank you. You've been wonderful.
Thank you, Doreen. All right, we're running short of time here. We got time for about 2 more. Okay. Sorry, folks. Trying to get through them as best as we possibly can. Jordan Nussbaum, go ahead.
Yes.
Jordan, just got to unmute your microphone.
Yes, sir. So sorry.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, sorry, guys. Hey, so David had said you can go in there and you guys obviously just went over it, but you can go in there and say, like, I want to fund something, but I'm not exactly sure. I have an idea. Okay.
Well, I would go with a project because if you go into the appointment and say, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I have an idea, you're not exactly showing that you're capable of writing a business plan and doing the job. I mean, they want the business plan just so that you know that you thought this through. And that,
you have to think like an investor or a manager of something. Okay. You know,
can you do something like? Oh, sorry. Can you do something like a homeo, like a chiro, like providing natural services like chiropractic care and a range of different homeopathic remedies medically for like people that are injured and stuff?
They're not going to last long because med beds are going to take over healthcare altogether.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
But is that it, Jordan?
Yeah, I want to do something. I'm just not sure what it is. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll work it out.
Search your heart.
In a few days.
Yeah. Search your heart.
Okay.
Man.
Start writing a business plan, and you'll soon work it out.
Okay.
Okay.
But thank you, Jordan. All right. Last up, Stella Camanzuli. Stella, go ahead and unmute.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Stella.
Hi, Stella.
Hi. I've got a couple of questions. Hang on, I'll just get my video on. There we go.
Right.
Yep. It's early morning here in Australia, so I'm just doing some laundry.
Right.
With the rain. The sun's actually coming out, so that's not too bad today. I've got a couple of things. I've got 3 funerals this week.
Oh.
3.
Oh my.
Sorry to hear that.
People are dying left, right, and centre. I can't believe this. It's coming in full pelt. They've had some lung problems. They've had some. One had like stage 2 cancer, and now, and they all had the booster.
Yeah.
And,
oh my.
And the funerals, like we've got funerals backed up because I'm involved with our parish at our church, and there's funerals backed up 2 weeks. We can't cater for all the funerals, and my personal, I've got to go one today, one on Tuesday, and one on Wednesday next week. And
if you've been vaccinated and whatnot, it's starting to manifest itself.
That's right. Really a lot more are going to die.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
there's going to be a lot of people who pass, and it's very,
and we
very
told
sad.
like. But what's so sad is I said to this one lady who just passed, and she was a dear friend. I said, please don't get the vaccine. And she says, oh, my doctors recommended it because of my lungs. And I said, that's the worst thing you could be doing.
That's right.
Anyway,
it is.
She had it, and we went away on holidays. We got to go to the Northern Territory and go to Uluru. We got to do all that together. I was so happy. She wasn't 100%, but she was not too bad. She'd only had 1 vaccine at that time. And I said to her, please don't have more. And she did. And she had the booster. And 6 weeks later, she's not with us anymore.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we're hearing a lot of those stories, unfortunately.
Yeah, we hear a lot of it.
And a friend of ours also works for a mortuary, and they're actually now building more freezer space because
Oh,
they're just inundated.
Yeah,
Mostly
would
the
be.
aged. From aged care, they've never done as many pickups from aged care as they have now. Even during the pandemic, like the height of the pandemic, there wasn't. People didn't even were dying of the flu then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now they're really going.
Yeah,
So anyway,
these
it's
people
really
don't
sad.
care.
My heart's breaking.
Yeah, these
But
these
you were
people who
saying,
did this don't care.
I know. You were saying that General Flynn's brother is in Australia, and I feel that he really is, because we've had a lot of military helicopters flying above, and we're thinking a lot's happening. We had that earthquake in Victoria not so long ago, and I mean, we've never had an earthquake in Victoria ever. So this is So, and of course with all the rain, but now it's starting to rain again, but it's eased off today. So I'm hoping that, things will get better, and I've told so many of our friends to get Dong, because it's easy to get through our currency exchange places. So I have about a dozen people who have gone and bought, a couple of $100 worth of Dong. So now I have to tell them when and where. So it's all right, because they're not members of this group. I said to them, don't worry, I'll let you know when to go. So that's okay.
Well, have them join us. Have them join us.
Yeah. I tried to tell a couple of them to come over, and they're going, and I said, just do it. It's so much fun.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I say,
and I mean, when Billy rang me the other day to help me navigate the forum, I was so impressed.
That's right.
All right, but Stella, we're with you. We're with you down there with all the people who are passing away. So.
Oh my God! But you know what? I have such a sense of inner peace. I really know all will be well. I really know that.
Yes.
And and I know that because my husband is a real warrior. He has saved so many of his men. He's a builder, and we had mandates to say that we couldn't go on building sites unless they were vaccinated and all that. And my husband said, "You are welcome on my building site, vaccinated, unvaccinated. It's up to you. You have free choice." Yeah. And so many of them didn't get vaccinated, and now they all come over and say thank you to us.
Okay, all right. We have to keep it short because we need to end the program.
No worries.
All right.
Thank you for taking my call. Thank you. God bless you all.
I think we'll do Nancy, then we'll wrap it up.
All right, Nancy, go ahead.
Hi, guys. I guess this question is directed more towards Peter. I'm trying to wrap my head around this NESARA, GESARA, and when I'm researching it out, I'm finding that Bill Clinton signed this into executive order back like in 2010. So I'm trying to wrap my brain around
1999.
Okay, I'm trying to wrap, when was it?
1999.
Okay, 1999. So I'm trying to wrap my brain around, why would Bill Clinton have signed that into?
Because the military had the goods on the Clintons, and they were about ready to expose it all. Okay, NESARA was supposed to happen here in the United States. Guess when? September
9/11.
September 11th. Okay.
Right.
What happened? All right. Well, the day before, Donald Rumsfeld, the Department of Defense Secretary, came out and said that the Pentagon had lost $2.3 trillion.
Right.
Okay?
I understand all that. Yeah.
9/11 happened. Okay. And everybody freaked out. All right. There was the flight that went down in Pennsylvania. Don't know what that was all about just yet. I'm still trying to figure that one out. But there were two planes that hit the World Trade Center, which never hit the World Trade Center. They were lost at sea. Okay, that was all CGI. It is perfectly, I can show you the footage that shows the explosion happening with no plane hitting those two buildings. Okay.
Right. And I live in Pennsylvania, so I understand the Flight 93. It was, from what we understand, it was directed at
the plane. There was a very good German documentary maker who made a very honest program about 9/11, and it was shown once on German TV and never again. I have a copy of it, with English subtitles. Maybe I'll put it on the forum somewhere.
The plane that flew into the Pentagon. Okay, wasn't a plane. It was a missile. There was no fuselage, no tail fin, no wings or anything else. They would have sheared off and flying into that building. Okay, so nothing was there.
Maybe we'll do a special program on that at some time.
Yeah,
we shouldn't go into too much detail now.
My question was more geared to the whole. Hey, my question was geared more to the whole Bill Clinton thing, because I didn't understand why he would sign that in and what benefit that would have been to the deep state. Is what my question.
It was no benefit to the deep state. That's why they did the 9/11 to stop it.
Yeah. Okay, exactly. Then I understand that. Then okay.
All right, but Nancy,
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Right, sorry we couldn't get to all your questions today, folks. We got.
But I think we did pretty well. Yeah.
Yes.
And obviously we'll be back again in a few days, so another chance. And but to say, it's up to us now to build this platform and to get more people to listen to us. So it would be great if you guys could go out and just invite people to come and have a look. I think we're going to make the first program of the GESARA things publicly available, so you can show your friends there, and so they can see how much fun this program is about. And we're certainly enjoying helping you guys. It's a lot of work, but I mean, I've been flat out the last few weeks, but it's worth it because it's so important. We're going through a great event. I mean, I liken it to the fall of the Berlin Wall. I was living in Germany at the time, and that was a massive change to everybody. That's one of those events you never forget. And we know now we're fully aware of what is happening, and a lot of our friends are not aware of it. So enjoy watching this, taking part in this. You'll be able to tell your grandchildren about what's happening in these days and these weeks.
Right. But in the future, we'll do other stuff. We'll do, 9/11, what happened back then. We'll do the whole JFK conspiracy. I mean, we can go down into what happened with the Titanic and why that is so importantly involved and whatnot. And going back to the Lincoln assassination and the fact that Andrew Jackson was the original president that kicked out the central bankers first. Most people don't know that, but it was.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
That was way back when. Okay. In fact, that was 1814, I believe, when he kicked him out.
Yeah, well, that's an American president. I'm too hot on those.
Right. But anyway, we're going to wrap things up here. Peter, any final thoughts?
Yes, basically, now we've got the forum running, this show running. Let's get it out there. Let's build it up. Let's make this something very positive. It's unfortunate that there was some kind of break with the other team. But I was once a Dale Carnegie trainer, and I say, if life gives you a lemon, make lemonade. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to make this into something really positive, and we're going to work really hard to get you accurate information and help you all and guide you guys all through the revaluation, and we'll all be better off for it.
Right. But thank you all for joining us here today. Really, really appreciate it. I just want to say goodbye to everybody, and hopefully we will hear this music soon with fireworks added to it, just like in the movie.
Goodbye. Love you guys. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
Glastonbury.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Have a good one.
Bye.
Hi, Barbara.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, Nick, see you again. I'll talk to you soon.
See you later, alligators.
Kirky, good to see you here, Derek. Hi, Kirky. Kathy.
Bye, guys.
All right, thank you, David. Thank you, Lorraine. Dale.
Bye.
Heather.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. God bless.
Till we meet again.
All right, stopping the recording now. You guys have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Peter.